But I'm hung up. She must have thought that where's Abu and where's Mummy?
And the worst nightmare in a parent's life is to bury a child, to bury one of the loved ones, as if you are burying a piece of yourself and you're part of your body. But we were braced with that situation that it was more likely to happen than not when she was diagnosed with the life-limiting illness. But the way it happened, the way it was made to happen, was very brutal and callous. And we don't think we can get over that. I often wake up with nightmares and flashbacks as if somebody is pulling tube out of my daughter's chest, which was helping her breathe, to suffocate her. I wake up with a feeling of somebody tightening my handcuffs as I am trying to save her. This is something which I think I will take to my grave.
I mean, we know everything is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we accept that that was Zainab's time. But the toxicity and the way we were treated, and you know what, it wasn't even about us, it was about Zainab. Zainab didn't have her father with her, and then I was there 24/7, but I was exhausted. I was contacting the court, contacting the solicitors, writing the application, trying to send stuff to people, constantly going to meetings with management. So my time, my precious, precious time, was taken away from my precious daughter. I should have been there for her. My children were amazing, our sons were caring for her, helping, doing anything. But I'm hung up. She must have thought that where's Abu and where's Mummy? Because even when I was physically there, I was on the laptop trying to type the application, rebuttal. I'm sorry. Seriously, if it hadn't happened to us and somebody told me, I would not believe this story. We are indebted to the NHS in that if it hadn't been for them, she wouldn't have survived in the first place. She was premature, and and the care we received and physiotherapy and everything was excellent. Super care. But in 2018, she was admitted to hospital. She was ventilated again, and only for the second time. And yet we were told to take off the ventilator, give her a cuddle, say goodbye to her. That was the kindest thing to do. And obviously, with my husband's 30-year experience in the NHS, 24 as a respiratory consultant, he said to them, well, actually, that's not correct. Why aren't you giving her the treatment that's appropriate, that will help her? And she came off the ventilator in 8 or 9 days. And when she came out of hospital, she stayed home for a whole year. A whole year she was at home, didn't go into hospital at all.
With a very decent quality of life, given her disabilities, yeah?
Absolutely. But when she went back in last year, and again she went from the local hospital, they intubated her. So she went up ventilated, and initially she improved because they gave her the treatment that she needed. But gradually the treatment was being given, but in insufficient doses, and she gradually started to deteriorate. But when we went to this meeting on the Monday, which we were summoned to, they said that what they had decided is that they were going to take her tube out, and they said that she had reached the end of the line, and this was a decision that they'd made. They'd had a meeting, had discussions, and this was it. And we discussed with them very rationally, and we've got an audio recording of that meeting. We discussed very rationally the fact that she had a temperature. My husband's saying, why do you look for these different organisms? Once you've maximised her treatment, if you've given her everything and then it doesn't work, we will accept that, and then we'll go down the palliative care pathway. So at no point were we being unreasonable. We were being completely reasonable. We were listening to them and replying to them rationally.
I must say that I and my wife, we were not ordinary parents. We have the full background training. We had the knowledge base to challenge, and pose questions to people who were making decisions about Zainab's treatment and her care. And, when they passed a death sentence on her, we were able to challenge it. But then we found ourselves very helpless when all these rough tactics were used. I ended up having a heart attack and then separated from my daughter for almost a week.
So when the police turned up, I thought, I'll talk to them, I'll reason with them, I'll explain to them, and they will listen. And when they say they want to talk, I said, fine, pull up a chair, sit down. And they didn't. And they were saying to me, it's got nothing to do with you, it doesn't concern you, it's to do with your husband, and blah, blah, blah. They just weren't listening. And I think that's what I find so frustrating, the fact that we were not heard. We were the parents of a child. We've just been told that she's going to have her tube taken out, she's going to die, this is their decision. We were distraught, we were grieving. But to be treated in that manner is just, I mean, what happened to dignity, compassion? I was pinned down by 2 security guards onto a chair. I couldn't even see, you know, the stuff in the body cam with what's happening to my husband. I didn't see that because they pulled the curtains down. I could hear it, but I couldn't get away to help him. And I was calling out saying he's got chest pain, he has a heart condition. I mean, what more can you do? What more could I have done?
As a doctor, if it had happened on my watch, I would have filed a complaint against police brutality myself. I would have said they've endangered this life and they should have taken a step back to allow medical help and pain relief to somebody who may or may not be having a heart attack. It was not established then. I was only warning them. It could have been averted if they allowed me to take my emergency medication, and they didn't have to do anything for that. I didn't have a heart attack. I was given a heart attack. NHS is a national treasure. I wish all countries, every single person has access to a health service like this, where you don't have to pay a penny when you need it most, at the point of delivery when you need it most. So that is, but NHS really should be protected from bad apples within it.
You know what? Death is inevitable, but it's the way these things are done. Zainab would have passed away at that time because that was her time. But it didn't have to be done in a toxic manner. It could have been done with compassion, dignity, concern, empathy for the family. I mean, my children, I don't know. I mean, we're adults, we're struggling. I don't know how my children will ever live with this. I mean, their level of trust. And also, we would like other families who've gone through something similar to come forward. Because I think there needs to be a national debate. And it's not a group issue that it's this group or that group. It's not. Because everybody who is blessed to have children is a parent. And everybody, sadly, can be in the situation that we were. We were all an illness or an accident away from being on intensive care, being ventilated. We don't know. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. But everybody, this is an issue for absolutely every member of society, regardless of age and background. And this is what we'd like going forward, inshallah.
I didn't kick you. I didn't. You're acting like an animal.